Hello, everybody, and welcome to the LaBert the Jerk Show. I'm your host, LaBert the Jerk. Today, we're going to discuss a man by the name of Ramon Ward. He was 44, and right now he's celebrating his release from the Michigan State Prison after serving 25 years, 25 long years, for a double homicide that he didn't commit. Stay tuned. Yeah! Let's see if these audio levels are correct. We trying to do a show today. I'm your host, LaBert the Jerk, and we are going to discuss once again the bowels of Detroit, Michigan. We have another man who was wrongly accused and spent time in prison for a crime he didn't commit. It's not exactly the first time. There's been several cases of this, but it is what it is. I tell you that.
Hello, and welcome to the LaBert the Jerk Show.
Alrighty then. So, hello everybody. I'm LaBert the Jerk, and here we are with another show. And we're basically talking about this gentleman by the name of Ramon Ward, wrongly accused of a double homicide in 1994. At the time, he was 18 years old. Oh, man. I tell you, I just don't know. I really don't. I really don't know about this justice system. And you wonder why a lot of people do not trust law enforcement. You know? They really don't. I, for the other hand, am still hoping for a change. And hopefully this next election, there will be changes to the justice system. Much needed changes, in fact. I'd like to tell everybody to subscribe to the LaBert the Jerk Show and click that like button. In the words of Tommy Sotomayor, don't treat me like a side hoe. You know? Click that like. Of course, you can write to us at LaBert the Jerk Show, at the LaBert the Jerk Show at gmail.com. And of course, as always, you can leave your comment in the description box. And make sure you share this video to everyone that you know, so they will find out what type of topics we talk about on the show. Now, let's get into it. A Detroit man by the name of Ramon Ward was put on a loose dark suit that his sister has picked for him out of the mall, and his brother brought to him in a white plastic bag later on. Then, beaming, he walked out into the lobby of the Wayne County Jail and hugged his siblings and his 18-year-old niece, a niece that he had never never once knew and have been able to even hug. That's because Ward has spent the last 25 years in prison for 2 murders he did not commit. But at a hearing on Thursday, 26 years after his arrest, he was exonerated. I never knew, I never knew when, but I knew it was going to happen. Ward told Bridge magazine over some lunch with his family and lawyers at a restaurant in Detroit's Greektown neighborhood. He recalled how back in 1994, as a teenager, in the back of a police car, the soft, calm voice of his deceased grandmother came to him and told him that while it would take a long time, he would make it through. And that's what's kept me going, he said on Thursday. The criminal justice system is society's mechanism and for holding lawbreakers accountable. But with a growing spotlight on wrongful convictions over the many years, and many states, including Michigan, are building a system to hold itself accountable. That includes comprehensive funds for exonerees and conviction integrity units housed in some prosecutors' offices to investigate past cases in which the innocent may have been imprisoned for other crimes. In some instances, these units have found exemplary evidence unknown to or ignored by state appellate courts. Wayne County's you have to excuse me, had to scroll down a little bit, so you're gonna have to forgive me for that one. But as I was saying, the growing with the Wayne County's 2-year-old CIU, which was essential towards release, have been investigating his case since its founding. And I mean, it just shows the system is not working for guys. It's really not. It's not working for us guys. How are they missing all this? Aaron Salter, a Detroit resident who was himself exonerated in 2018, he attended Ward's hearing to offer his support. Salter, too, is contributing to the state's emerging infrastructure for exoneration. He used his money he received from a state compensation fund for wrongfully convicted people and to create a shelter called the Innocence Maintained. While Ward's family will have a place for him to stay, Salter's shelter is for exonerees only, for whom have nowhere to go. At the age of 18, Ward was arrested for a double homicide in Detroit. No physical evidence linked him to the crime. He was arrested without a warrant 3 months after the murders. The case against him weighed heavy on him. But hey, that's okay. But like I said, the case against him weighed heavily on 2 jailhouse informants who said they heard Ward confess while in the 9th floor lockup of Detroit Police Headquarters. Both received reduced charges, of course, because that's what snitches do. They basically give their testimony to try to get off what they did. But it turned out it was a lie. They lied just to get themselves off. So, like I said, they both received reduced charges and other benefits for cooperating with police on multiple cases. For one of them, that included information that led to convictions in at least 20 homicides. 20. On the snowless day in January of 1995, a jury convicted Ward. His sentence was spending the rest of his life in prison without the possibility of parole. In the years since, Ward lost appeal after appeal after appeal. But Thursday, at age 44, he was a free man, a joyous moment for his family. But 7 months later, too late for Ward's father, who died in July. He said, I can truly say the scales of justice have been balanced and a burden has been lifted. He said that in a statement at the hearing. But, like I said, his father died. He couldn't even go to his own father's funeral. He really couldn't. Exoneration is not quite the same as having a criminal conviction overturned on appeal. When someone is exonerated, they are legally absolved from any blame. It is essentially a declaration of innocence. There have only been 105 exonerations in Michigan since 1989, according to the National Registry of Exonerations. Ward's case is not yet included in the total. That adds up to 940 years lost, or 9.3 years per person. Nationally across America, there have been 2,535 exonerations in the last 30 years. About a third of Michigan's wrongful convictions were in murder cases. Nearly all exonerees were male, and more than half are African American males. While cases that left people wrongfully convicted had different problems, and sometimes multiple problems, official misconduct and perjury, which is false accusations, are the most common. Of all the homicides exonerations nationally in 2018, according to the registry, 79% involve official misconduct, such as forensic analysts who falsified test results, or police or prosecutors who conceal evidence, crucial evidence. A record 111 exonerations nationally involve perjury or false accusations. Of Michigan's 105 exonerations, 63 involve perjury or false accusations, that's ridiculous. Seriously. There's really no decent people. There's no decent people in this world. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Wrongful conviction compensation in 2016, implemented by Trump, to provide people like him with $50,000 for each year they spend in prison to help rebuild their lives, which is not enough when people in your family, important family members like your parents, die, which means they took time out of their lives, time wasted out of their lives that they could be spending with their loved ones, wasting away in prison. That's small. To me, that's not enough. They deserve $1 million every year. Every year they had to sit. To be quite honest, there's not enough money in the world to make up for that. Not enough at all. Ward could potentially claim $1.25 million for his time in prison. Well, it's a good start. It's a good start. But is it worth it? No, not at all. Future payouts may be impacted by the state's budget appropriations. To date, The fund has been paid more than $19 million, but it was dangerously depleted last year. Leading Representative, what's his name, Stephen Ward, Republican of Wayland, to sponsor legislation to supplement it with $2 million. Today, there's only about 7.6 million remaining, according to Ron Lex, Deputy Public Information Officer with the Michigan Department of Treasury. You know, guys, my thoughts about this is that there's so many loopholes in the justice system that um, things like this happen, which goes back to the saying, the usual normal saying that people that you're not guilty until you're proven innocent, and you're not innocent until proven guilty. You're guilty until you're proven innocent, which is ridiculous. That's not the law. That's not the law at all. It's not. 11 people in prison for crimes they didn't commit applied for compensation within the 18-month window, but because the rule bumped against the 6-month statute, the office of then Michigan Attorney General Bill Schultz denied them funds, totaling $2.6 million. All 11 joined in a case that is now before the Michigan Court of Appeals. Now, wait a minute. Here's a very unsettling question. Does the compensation fund not cover not only the prison time, but also the time wrongfully served in juvenile detention? On this, the statute itself is silent. The Michigan Supreme Court has even requested legal arguments on the issue in a case that comes on behalf of Devontae Sanford, who was arrested in Wayne County at age 14 for quadruple murder. Sanford, a former client of the Innocence Clinic, was released in 2016. Last fall, current Michigan Attorney General Dana Nessel appointed a 4-member board to review compensation claims. Richardson said that the board has been able to help process claims more quickly than before. The Attorney General's office also formed its own conviction, which is ridiculous. So I'm going to go straight to the video so you guys can check it out and everything and listen to this man's story. So if you don't mind, go ahead and play that wonderful Bing footage.
Well, he spent 27 years locked up, but today Ramon Ward is free and enjoying pizza with his family. It is his first meal outside of prison after being wrongfully convicted of a double murder 27 years ago. 7 Action News reporter Jim Kirshner shows us how his family never gave up hope and tries to find out where investigators went so terribly wrong.
The celebration was spontaneous just down the street from the courthouse, and the pizza compared to prison.
It look better, taste better, and most definitely you go down better.
The family and attorneys are giving Ramon private time to transition back to a life and a lifestyle he lost 27 years ago. He was convicted of a double murder that happened inside a vacant drug house on Moran on the east side. He was only 18.
There were 2 snitchers.
A man and a woman gunned down. At the time, there was no physical evidence, no eyewitnesses, only what was considered good, hard police work. And those snitches. It turns out they lied. This defense attorney, working with the Wayne County Prosecutor's Conviction Integrity Unit and new investigators.
We developed a witness who was in the house
when the shootings took place.
Developing the new case took 4 years. Ramon wasn't going anywhere, doing life without parole. The new eyewitness pointed to a new killer.
That person died 4 years ago.
Justice is elusive. Snitch is still alive?
One it may be, but he's awesome. He may be dead too, but the other one's dead.
These cases show the system can fail.
People wonder why the public or parts of the public don't trust law enforcement or the courts.
Ramon Ward was transferred from prison down to here so he could be in court this morning. And after the judge exonerated him, he had to come back over here to the jail to change out of his prison jumpsuit.
Got him some clothes. Luckily, they fit.
What kept the family going all these years?
He did. You know, we talked every Sunday, so he always knew his day was coming, and it's finally here.
You never doubted his innocence.
Never.
Ramon is now eligible to be compensated by the state. 50 grand for each year in prison. That would be 1.3 million. He has no place to go to get 27 years of his life back. Jim Kurtzner, 7 Action News.
Wow, a lot of time.
So, like the reporter said, there's no way he can get my cat's over here snoring. Sound like a human being. But there's no way that you can replace those years. Not with the there's no compensation in the world that can replace those years. None at all. The justice system needs an overhaul. These cops, these police precincts need to be retrained in doing cop work. Because basically the only thing they're doing is sitting there saying, oh, yeah, he's guilty. And then they show new evidence. They're like, don't worry about that evidence. Just lock them up. Lock up all the black guys. That's what we do. Lock up all the men. Tell me what you think. Leave your comments in the description box. And remember to like this video and share this video with everyone, with your friends. Also, the link is in the description box where you can find the show and where you can email your thoughts or leave your comments in the description box. All right, guys, I'm LaBert the Jerk, and it is what it is. Peace.